Join us as we delve into the world of Nelson Mandela, an iconic figure who dedicated his life for the fight of justice and equality. We will explore some of his most powerful and inspiring quotes and examine the impact he continues to have on our world today. Nelson Mandela lived in a time where he was an influential figure in the fight against apartheid in South Africa, a system of institutionalized racial segregation and discrimination. Despite facing imprisonment and persecution, Mandela remained committed to his beliefs and became a symbol of hope for oppressed people around the world. His courage and perseverance and leadership continues to inspire generations to stand up against injustice and fight for a better future. To truly grasp the profound wisdom of Nelson Mandela, one must transport themselves back to the tumultuous era in which he lived, a time where the air was thick with tension and injustice hung heavy over the land like a suffocating fog. A time where the simple act of standing up for what you believed in could cost you your freedom or even your life. So let us journey back in time and place ourselves in the shoes of those who lived through this incredible moment in history. Only then can we begin to truly understand the incredible strength and unyielding spirit of Nelson Mandela and the legacy he left behind. You're watching Quotes That Changed History, a team of researchers and video professionals dedicating their creativity and gifts to educate people on the wisdom of the wise and ancients. To support, please like and subscribe. Let's begin. The greatest glory in living lies not in never falling, but in rising every time we fall. I learned that courage was not the absence of fear, but the triumph over it. The brave man is not he who does not feel afraid, but he who conquers that fear. It always seems impossible until it's done. The brave man is not he who does not feel afraid, but he who conquers that fear. A winner is a dreamer who never gives up. Difficulties break some men, but make others. No axe is sharp enough to cut the soul of a sinner who keeps on trying, one-armed with the hope that he will rise even in the end. There is no easy walk to freedom anywhere, and many of us will have to pass through the valley of the shadow of death again and again before we reach the mountaintop of our desires. For to be free is not merely to cast off one's chains, but to live in a way that respects and enhances the freedoms of others. Money won't create success. The freedom to make it will. There is no passion to be found playing small, in settling for a life that is less than the one you are capable of living. No one is born hating another person because of the color of his skin, or his background, or his religion. People must learn to hate, and if they can learn to hate, they can be taught to love, for love comes more naturally to the human heart than its opposite. I am not a saint unless you think of a saint as a sinner who keeps on trying. We must use time wisely and forever realize that the time is always ripe to do right. I have walked that long road to freedom. I have tried not to falter. I have made missteps along the way, but I have discovered the secret that after climbing a great hill, one only finds that there are many more hills to climb. Our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. Real leaders must be ready to sacrifice all for the freedom of their people. If you want to make peace with your enemy, you have to work with your enemy. Then he becomes your partner. I am fundamentally an optimist. Whether that comes from nature or nurture, I cannot say. Part of being optimistic is keeping one's head pointed towards the sun, one's feet moving forward. There were many dark moments when my faith in humanity was sorely tested, but I would not and could not give myself up to despair. That way lays defeat and death. Education is the most powerful weapon which you can use to change the world. I like friends who have independent minds because they tend to make you see problems from all angles. I detest racialism because I regard it as a barbaric thing, whether it comes from a black man or a white man. If you talk to a man in a language he understands, that goes to his head. If you talk to him in his language, that goes to his heart. I have cherished the ideal of a democratic and free society in which all persons live together in harmony and with equal opportunities. It is an ideal which I hope to live for and to achieve. But if needs be, it is an ideal for which I am prepared to die. I am the captain of my soul. Resentment is like drinking poison and then hoping it will kill your enemies. A good head and a good heart are always a formidable combination. It is better to lead from behind and to put others in front, especially when you celebrate victory when nice things occur. You take the front line when there is danger. Then people will appreciate your leadership. There is nothing like returning to a place that remains unchanged to find the ways in which you yourself have altered. There is no such thing as part freedom. I stand here before you not as a prophet, but as a humble servant of you, the people. Courageous people do not fear forgiving for the sake of peace. There are few misfortunes in this world that you cannot turn into a personal triumph if you have the iron will and the necessary skill. A good leader can engage in a debate frankly and thoroughly, knowing that at the end he and the other side must be closer, and thus emerge stronger. You don't have that idea when you are arrogant, superficial, and uninformed. It is said that no one truly knows a nation until one has been inside its jails. A nation should not be judged by how it treats its highest citizens, but its lowest ones. It is not our diversity which divides us. It is not our ethnicity or religion or culture that divides us. Since we have achieved our freedom, there can only be one division amongst us, between those who cherish democracy and those who do not. We can change the world and make it a better place. It is in your hands to make a difference. May your choices reflect your hopes, not your fears. We must strive to be moved by a generosity of spirit that will enable us to outgrow the hatred and conflicts of the past. Thanks for listening to Quotes That Changed History. To support us, please like and subscribe.